Sure. It's good to be back. Good to see everyone again. It's been a good summer, good off season. We're looking pretty good for first workout. Pretty happy with that first one. Big things for this team.
Coach, there was a lot of turnover this offseason. I guess talk about the difficulty of that, but also, being experienced and having to do that several times over the last few years.
Yeah, it's this is the way that athletics is going, right? And so I don't think anybody's surprised when they see players in the portal and there's turnover. And for us, you have to look at it as an opportunity. If you have a spot open, then you want to fill it with the best player you can. And I truly think we did a really nice job with that. The quality of the roster, the depth of it, the physicality. I think we addressed the things that held us back last season, and we feel really good. The off season for us. I've been doing this a long time. I felt like it was the most productive off season I've ever had as a coach in terms of how far the team came on the court, leadership, team building, the whole thing. I just was really, really happy and impressed with how quickly it all fell into place. And so even though this is kind of a new team, we had 15 of these players in the gym with us all spring. So I feel like we're ahead of where a newer team normally would be.
Can you speak to, I guess the strengths of some of the new players you brought in? I know you got a couple from the pack too. Now,
We did. Yeah. So, we were trying to be more offensive. We needed to be more physical. That was a big thing for us last season. We just weren't terminal enough, and we've done that. We also wanted to have better connections between setters and hitters. The Hannah Boer that came in from Virginia Tech has really done a nice job. I've been very happy with how our setting looks. Caitlin Cochran has been right there with her, and so the connection between setters and hitters really looks good, and that's led to just overall better offense. So, and we started to see some of that in the spring. So, Mia Wesley, Reagan Linen, who came in from Southern Miss, two really physical, athletic kids that can put a ball away and really tough mindsets. So, they've changed the accountability in the gym and just those things. And then the transfers we had from a year ago, Emily Merrick, Simone Overbeck in particular, they needed a season to be with us and get some things figured out. They've done it. They look like totally different players. So, we put it all together, and we've got a more experienced group, but also I think a more driven, focused group that's, they're ready to win.
Given there's so many new faces on the team, I'm assuming you're probably not surprised with the 15th in the preseason poll.
Yeah, no, I'm not. I mean, think about the season we had last season, and preseason polls are, to me, almost a little bit more of a reflection of last year than this year. And and we know 3 weeks from now we'll be in season. Nobody's going to be thinking about preseason polls anymore. We're just going to be looking at what we really are. And so, not surprised, but also not. It is what it is. And, I know for us, we feel a little bit better about ourselves than that perception. And so, yeah, no big deal.
As far as the kids that did return, who has done stuff over the offseason to kind of improve their game?
Yeah, I think all of them have. And, we saw Bryn Williams really, really take off in the spring, and we knew that was going to happen. She had a really nice season last year. I think we've been able to use her a little bit more to her strengths this off season and moving into now. And so we're going to see a lot more production out of her. The returners that we talked about with Emily and Simone, absolutely. And then those younger players, Emily Contreras, Abby Dickinson in the back row, really took a big step forward. So we feel like our first touch is really good right now.
Coach, over the offseason, have you and the coaching staff been able to identify kind of what went wrong on the road last year and maybe what you need to do to fix that this year?
Well, what went wrong on the road was the same stuff that went on at home. And, it really was we just couldn't put a ball away. That truly was the biggest thing. We were competitive in almost every other part of the game. And, we're just playing longer rallies. It was taking us too many swings to finish it off. And, the level of the Big 12 just won't let you do that. So that really was the biggest thing. We just couldn't get it put away. And so that was what we needed to address. Some of it was connection. Some of it was timing and going faster. Some of it was just bringing in players that could put a ball down a little bit better. And I think we've done all those things.
When you look at the leadership on your team, obviously Bryn and Maddie kind of had that role last year. Are you expecting similar things from them this year, or is anybody else kind of stepping into that?
I do, but I'll tell you, Emily Merrick has really stepped up and taken on much more of that. And Reagan Linen, that's an impressive lady. And, for her in one semester to do what she's done on the court, but within the team, and just insert herself into the culture of the program. And, she's an Amarillo girl, and she's all about being here at Tech for her last season. And, man, she has made a huge difference in just the togetherness, the direction of the team, the accountability piece. It's been really, really cool to see someone in that short of a time be looked at that highly by her teammates. So I appreciate that a lot. But it's just given players like Maddie and Bryn and Simone so much more to work with, and even Reagan Engler as a younger player. So we've got some really nice leaders and emerging leaders, but all of us are on the same page. So I think that's something that we've seen immediately that was a little bit different than a season ago.
And then for your new players, freshmen and transfers, what are your expectations for them in the Invitational coming up?
Well, the results are what we're after, right? So we got to get off to a hot start, and so we're going to be putting this together pretty quickly, and just early on we're working on connections and chemistry and just making sure systems are in order, and then as we get a couple weeks down the road, we'll be thinking about best lineups and getting off to a good start up in Boston. But for now, it's I like the way we've been able to add 5 extra days. They made some rule changes for us, so we got 5 extra workouts, and that's allowed us to take a workout like today and really slow down and just make it about training and skill development, and not so much about anything else. And then this afternoon we'll crank it up and get into more traditional sixes. But I like that we can do this a little bit differently and don't have to skip any steps, and so those younger players are going to benefit from it the most, because normally they don't get much time and they're right in the middle of it.
Has there been anybody that maybe didn't start as much? Because Bren kind of had that rising star thing last season. Is there anybody that you see kind of falling into a similar path as her?
Yeah, I would say those ball control players. I think Abby and Emily, you're going to really notice. And Abby had a nice season last year. But it was really cool to see them take off this spring, and they work really well together. And Maddie's kind of like that big sister for them, and is right there to stabilize things. So I think that piece you're going to see a lot, and I think Caitlin Cochran as well would be that next one up. All right, y'all. Appreciate it.